This podcast contains adult content. Hello, sweeties.
Hi, I'm Margo Marshall.
And I'm Sue Gives a Fuck, and I really do.
Oh.
So, Marjorie Marshall, what is your gender today?
My gender today is when you first open that orange Lucasade when you've got a hangover and you drink it.
When
in the
you
sense
open it.
that when I open it, it's a very me thing to do. In the sense that, like, when I first got up today, my gender was all a little bit too much, and I was like, ah, and I didn't know what to wear. And then I got to rehearsal and just kind of like took off all my clothes and was wearing a crop top and pants. And I was like, oh my God, you're an absolute like femboy realness sexy bitch, and I love you. Drink the rest of Lucasade. So, Susan gives a crap. What is your gender today?
My gender today is a Cuba Libre, in the sense that it sounds like a proper cocktail, but in reality, it's just trash. Twiddly-dee-dee-dee, two ladies, twiddly-dee-dee-dee, two ladies, twiddly-dee-dee-dee. Well, sort of, like, that's very much what the podcast is about. It's like, are we ladies? So, Margo, tell the listening public, what's been going on with you this week?
This week, well, it's been an interesting week, I have to say. I attempted to do the real world date.
You did.
Thing.
You did. Which I don't believe in, but you keep proving.
Yeah, I keep
You at least keep
pushing
proving
this.
that it almost exists.
Well, it
It's
does.
there.
We were
It's on
both
the
there.
horizons.
We were both. Anyway, yeah. So I met this lovely person, another queer person, at Savage Disco. R.I.P. Love you guys.
I know.
Oh, so sad.
It was the last week, but they're going to go somewhere else, are they?
That's the. I'm not going to say.
You know. I mean, they obviously are. I know the answer to that. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
it's
I mean,
not the end of
it's going to
Savage.
re-evolve. But I'm just one of the go-go girls, so I'm.
So it's not going to
say anything.
open in a new venue. It's going to become a whole new thing. That's what I'm guessing.
Time will tell.
If you haven't been to Savage, do go when it reappears as a
Rebirths
pop-up
itself as
bus.
some whatever. Yes, Maxi Moore on the front of Megabus. Like, yeah.
I could so see Maxi Moore pole dancing on a bus.
Oh, I'd love that.
It's one of my main dreams.
So, this other person, I was like, I was absolutely off my head. Like,
Right.
absolutely off my head on Rosé. Just,
okay.
I don't know what
Rosé
she
in the
thought she
club.
was doing. Rosé in the club, honey.
Is she in the club or is she summering in Cannes? She doesn't know.
She doesn't, absolutely no idea. I think I felt a bit like Madonna when she was just that
When do you
sample.
not?
I know, but she was that sample on that terrible song Rosé Champagne.
No, I don't know.
It's awful.
Is it?
She did it like before Madam X, but after Rebel. It was bad.
It was a mistake,
It was
wasn't
bad,
it?
and I felt that same way. But then, even at the time, I remember thinking it and being like, "This is tacky and awful."
Be
but
like, I feel just like Rosé Champagne. Oh yeah, that was shit though.
that was a terrible thing. So yeah, and as I was leaving, I just sort of was like, "Are you single?" And literally just sort of
You just went straight.
was like, "Are you single?"
Had
And
you
they were
been
like,
chatting?
I
You
don't know.
know.
But I remember going, "Are you single?" And
Right.
them being like, "Yes." And I was like, "Here's my number. Text me."
That is
Let's
so
go on a date.
cute. I've literally never done that in my life.
I've done this a lot recently, and I need to like. I don't know where I've got this guts from.
I mean, I remember... Wait, did we tell this story last week when Brendan had a friend over? Our housemate had a friend over
Yes.
to stay, and we went to Rosebud, Grace Bushes.
Yeah.
Grace Bushes.
Grace Bush!
Grace Shush's iconic show where you were performing.
Yeah.
And we turned up, and you'd heard that Brendan had a friend over, but you didn't
I didn't know anything about this human. You just text me saying...
You'd like him or something like
you'd
that.
like him, or no, it was you could get with him.
Yeah, right.
You could get with him. That you just planted a seed.
So anyway, you just turned up and there's
just-
three of us there, and so you just surmise that the other one must be the friend.
Yeah.
And you walk over, and you're just like, oh, hey, you must be Kale. And then you just lean in.
Make
and
out with him.
You just make out with him.
And then I just walked off. And I
Wait,
didn't see him for the rest of
do you
the
even
night.
say, hey, you must be Kale? I don't...
No, I think I just went, hi. And
then
I
you
just,
just
and
leaned
then
the
just sort of
fuck in?
leaned in, made out with him, and then he texted me at
He texted you.
3 a.m.
So we had been out all night, and I had not wanted to go out, and I got home, and I was doing the moves, and now, bear in mind, the moves at this point, I had, like, not slept the night before, I was in a bad way, and the whole night I'd been talking to him about, like, stuff that actually is not sexy at all, like this podcast. And then, like, we get home and it's that, like, 3 a.m. moment and I am decided that it's, oh. And then he, like, nips upstairs, I don't know, to, like, get something. And I don't see him again. And then it turns out he's up there hiding from you while texting.
And trying to find me. But I wasn't back. I went to somebody else's house that night.
And I'm wandering around the house and, where have you gone?
Hello. So we're continuing with this just sort of like, I think if I just tell them they fancy me, they do.
And that is a rule you must learn in this world.
I really, you plant the seed in somebody's head. Like, most of the time you look at someone and you're just like, you know, if they're sort of the general...
Yeah.
On a night out,
go either way.
You're just like, you know, if you fancy them a bit, you probably would.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is a Margo Marshall way to see about the world, but I know most people want to sleep with me. Anyway, so that was a push. That was a push. But I've not had any trouble recently.
No.
Yeah. So I told them, and then the next day, very promptly, got a text off them, and we arranged this date, and I was like, my schedule's fucked, as it is. I'd completely fucked up, and I'd planned to meet two people at the same time.
Right.
Or I was planned to go to Lip Sync 1000, but then I'd also planned this date with him. And we weren't going to go to Lip Sync 1000 because other people would be there, and it would be very busy and blah, blah, blah. And be able to talk, and then I tried to get out of it, and then my other friend made me guilty, and so I was like, right, let's have a few drinks before, and then Lip Sync 1000 started. And I was
Sounds like a good
shall
plan.
We stay? And they were like,
perfect.
Yes. I got away with it.
That is the ideal plan.
I got away with it.
So you just pretended that it was all organic and casual, and
and I masterminded the whole thing. Yeah, bitch.
You were like, I'd have loved to have gone home with you, but
well, it did happen, didn't it?
Well,
so then we stayed for Lip Sync 1000, and it was wonderful. We had a wonderful time.
Okay.
And then a friend turned up that I know, and she is fabulous and just a wonderful queer ally. She's like around the scene. She's fab.
Right, okay.
And they'd never met, although, like, so this person that I was with, and this girl, they'd never met, but they work for the same company, so it was all very weird. So I was like, okay, I'm going to introduce you to,
so nice
and like get you two talking,
it's the kind of thing that happens
because you know of each other, but you don't know each other. So I like did this whole thing, and then you know, it was the glory. So there were lots of people around that we knew. Mingly. So I like chatted. It was all very mingly for a bit, and then it got to the end, and they were like, oh. Well, there's like 10 of us left. I live around the corner. Let's have a house party at my house.
Right.
So we started off as this very civilized date, and it was a very civilized, wonderful date.
Yeah.
Then we moved on to watching
this is as much as I know, and this
Lip
is the
Sync
bit
1000.
Okay, go on.
And then we moved on to a house party. That isn't really...
It had escalated.
It had escalated.
And we're talking a Wednesday, are we?
We're talking a Wednesday. We're talking a Wednesday. The glory being like, get out, you horrible, horrible people.
I don't leave the glory unless they do that.
Literally every single time. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So they'd like shoved us out, so we all trolloped down.
Okay.
You know, you can
trolloped
imagine.
Is the word.
Yeah, trolloped is definitely the word. It was not attractive. Just threw ourselves into the house.
Uh-huh.
So I guess there's like 10 to 15 people. We drink the place dry, and the extra alcohol that we brought. Like, I remember like drinking something and being like, I don't know what that's meant to taste like.
Right.
Whether it's meant to be horrible, or whether it's a pre-mixed thing, or whether it's just that strong, like...
Or whether someone's been playing a drinking game and that's got like a bit of tea bag,
a bit of salt. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, that's disgusting. And that was when I was like, we may have gone too far.
Right.
And we were like dancing around to records, and obviously I was butt naked, as
of course you were.
I always am. And it seems that I started something.
With the guy that you were on a date with?
Yeah. I'd like got
guy.
Naked. No,
it's
yeah,
them,
with
right?
with the person that
anything.
I'd got, and they were like, right, okay, let's. So he sort of like left for a moment. I followed him, and we like made out a bit, and then I was like, we need to get these people out of your house. Like, this is weird. But yeah, so we went back in, and then I got talking to someone, and then sort of about 10 minutes later, he was like, right. They heard apologies there.
Hard to do.
I don't even know if it is that, but I'm doing it just in case.
It's all better safe than sorry, isn't it?
Exactly. They had shouted out, like, okay, I need to go to work in the morning. It's like 3 a.m.
Did they?
Yeah, they need to go to work at 9 a.m.
These people.
I don't know how they do it. I seriously don't know how they do it. So they screamed that out.
Right.
And then turned to me and I got like a sexy little wink. And I was like, I'm
like,
not
everyone
going
out, but not you.
anywhere. So like everyone was like looking at me still naked on the sofa like.
Oh, it's like that's the feeling of a lock-in. You just feel a bit special.
Yeah, I was like, bye, 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 get out, get out. And
So
then
nice
I
to have you.
turned.
Thank you for coming to my home.
Thank you for coming to my home that isn't my home, so I don't have to deal with any of this. This
Right.
is wonderful. My absolute favourite.
Oh,
Like mob wife mentality. Like I'm
Yeah.
there, but I'm not expected to do anything. Wonderful.
except ignore the bodies gathering under the carpet.
Which I'm very good at.
You are.
So then I look around and I'm like, wait, there's 2 people on this sofa in their underwear.
Has someone else had a wink?
Somebody else has had a wink. And this is the girl that I've introduced everybody to.
She had the wink.
She got the wink as well.
How do we feel about this? I feel shocked.
I was...
Furious.
No, I was like
Okay.
completely blindsided. You know when you're like, I now completely see why you think this could have been a moment. Because I really introduced,
Yeah.
like I set this up. I was like, you 2 have got to me. Like, but like I really egged this the fuck on.
So they're
But-
both bisexual people in their
Yes,
lives?
and I
Damn
am
them. Historically
Christ
not.
knows
Right.
what I am, but I am attracted to the male form. Done. You know, they were like, so this has kind of been like coming all evening, and obviously in my head I'm like, not for me.
No.
I had no idea. I was on a date with you, and now.
I don't know. Like, if you're on a date and you introduce a friend, is it not the assumption that you're introducing a friend? People introduce each other to each other all the time.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Well, do continue, please.
It's a bit of a so I was like, I don't I literally just didn't know what to say.
Right.
Because I was like, obviously I want to sleep with you, but I've never
Yeah,
I've-
entertained this idea, really.
entertained sleep. Well, that was when you're like 15.
When
do
you
know what I
had
mean?
to.
Like,
And you're just like, can I
and then
do
one
it?
time when I was very, very inebriated.
Oh, you did it?
Not the whole shebang.
Okay.
Like, it was just my mouth got involved.
Right. Oh, okay. Well
Quite
done.
invasive, really.
Yeah. In many ways, more so.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's all up in your grill.
Right up in the grill. Yeah.
I did the whole shebang.
Did you?
Can you imagine?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I didn't do it very well. There wasn't much commitment. Well, I actually
Tentative.
what I did
Tentative
is I
poking.
withdrew, and I said to her, "You know, I wouldn't like to see these walls whitewashed." That's what I said.
What?
The idea that I was so attracted to her in my sort of weirdly antiquated terminology that I could damage the room, and we mustn't think of it.
You mustn't
We
think
must
of the
desist.
sex that you had. Oh no, you were stopping halfway.
I was stopping because I was thinking, you know, we must think of the decor.
That is such an old lady Susan thing to say. I can't possibly continue to bang you because what will happen to the whitewash? What will happen to the wallpaper?
Yeah.
That is seriously the first thing that came to your head.
And she was like, "Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I hadn't thought of that."
Oh,
I
honey.
know. Oh, she was lovely, lovely person. Anyway,
girl.
please, I
Yeah,
want to know what
so-
happened. They're staring at each other,
No, they're both staring at me.
waiting.
And then, so she was like, I'm comfortable with this. I'm attracted to camp men. I was like, well, I'm a very camp male
Right.
bodied person.
Yeah.
So that I can, so I'm like, okay, so I'm now, I understand the situation that's happening around me, but it's happening around me. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Like
Yeah.
I was like, I honestly didn't know what to do. And there's not many things that I am not decisive about.
I've not seen you often flummoxed.
I just thought, well, you're probably not going to get this opportunity again, Margo.
Did you give it a go?
I did.
I'm so proud.
I went, let's do this. And I turned and I went, look, I ain't going to be
Right.
able to do anything with my fingers because of these
Talons.
talons that I have. And I also have absolutely no understanding of how this works.
It's great. I mean, is it? How were you feeling in that moment? Were you feeling like, do you know what? New experience, we'll give it a go, or were you feeling like,
I wasn't petrified.
Okay.
No, I wasn't petrified at all. Actually,
were you disappointed about the date, the way that the date had, because this was not necessarily your initial intention?
No. But then I had, initially asked them out absolutely off my head. Drunk,
wasn't
barely
really clear,
being able to remember. And although the beginning of the date was extraordinarily sweet, and that was the surprise. Does that make sense?
That turnaround. Yeah, okay, the sweetness
and really
of the surprise.
Enjoying the sweetness of the date was actually the surprise.
Because it went from like filth and degradation to filth and degradation. It was just a surprise.
And then there was a nice bit in the middle,
yeah.
I guess, on the long-term narrative of it all. Oh, God, who knows?
Cool.
Then we get led to the bedroom, which is a little bit sex dungeony like, because all the walls are red and the curtains are black.
Oh, I wouldn't like to wake up.
And so we lay down, and... Well, I told him to go to work. And I was like, well, you warm us up.
Oh, both? Oh, you were going to recline?
I mean, I assumed. I mean, if you're attracted to Margo Marshall, you're kind of... Right. You're going to be told what to do a bit.
Right.
Whatever position, whatever, like, I am not a shy, retiring, sort of sinking violet kind of girl, am I, really?
So
literally. Through the walls.
I've heard your sex tape. Well, clips.
Clips, darling. So we started, and then, well, he just tried to do anything on me, and it was just a no.
Oh, so
she stands to attention over
she does
anything, like a lot. I have had no problems with that anytime at any point in my life.
That's interesting.
So I was just like, wow. And I've, when I was a teenager, had like under the table with women in the room,
right?
At like parties or whatever. So it's it can't. It was literally just that presence in a sexual fashion, and so I just went, look, guys, I'm really sorry. This isn't actually working for me.
That's so interesting. It's
so
good to have
interesting.
tested that.
So interesting, though, and that's obviously maybe why any of my sexual experiences with female-bodied people in the past have never involved downstairs.
Yeah.
Because I've just physically not actually been able to do anything with it.
See, it's so interesting because I'm wondering in my life whether I could, cross the final frontier because, I mean, we're a few stories behind here actually right now and I need to get these stories out because I'm changing and discovering in myself an openness that I had not hitherto suspected.
And I thought I would have an openness.
Of course.
I really thought I would have an openness.
You're the open one of the two.
So I was quite shocked, really. But I actually was... I mean, I think I was quite saintly about it. I was like, okay, I'm really sorry, guys. This isn't working for me. Slipped out from underneath him. And I was like...
And they continued.
I said, well, you two continue. He saw me. He was like, no. Oh, fuck. I don't know. They, him,
sure.
Who knows? They were like... no, well, let me see you out. And I was like, okay, bye. And I like kissed them. But I was like, no, you two carry on. There's obviously something going on here. And there was no point 3 people not having sex. I was like, well, at least have 2.
That is very noble.
That's fine about it.
I hear that and I'm like, it moves me.
Does it?
Partly with your kindness, but also, do you know, I'm like, I feel like there's just a moment of sacrifice in there that's...
Oh, don't make me sound like I've got humility or anything.
Ooh, a little moment of pathos for Margo Marshall.
No, I think it was more like I'm just very self-confident that I was like, he's still going to text me.
Yeah, and have they text you?
Yes, and supposedly they both fell asleep. I was the glue keeping it all together. Work! Sorry, bitches!
So it didn't happen?
It didn't happen.
Yes.
It didn't happen.
I was so angry just then.
Yeah, I was the sexual energy in the room, I guess. Which I am most times.
Why was I so upset then?
Were you?
I was so upset.
Well, you know that we've gone on dates again, so you really
Have you gone on more dates?
Yeah.
I have skipped all of this.
Oh, yeah.
We need to hurry up with this podcast is what we need to do.
We do.
We are behind the time. I wanted to hear the stories of these dates, but not now because obviously that's a future story.
Yeah. But yeah, isn't that... I woke up the next day feeling very empowered and enlightened at the same time.
Yeah, it's just really good.
And actually being like, you know what? I really am glad that I was in that position and that, and we've all chatted since, not together.
Okay.
And we've,
no awkwardness.
Absolutely no awkwardness. And I sort of, thanked them both for the experience and, you know,
That's
apologise,
lovely.
but not in like a sorry way, but just being like, you know, I'm
That's
sorry
how
it
it
didn't
is,
work out,
yeah.
but you know, that's life.
And you've done the disclaimer.
I did do the disclaimer. I did say it probably won't work.
And it's good to know yourself.
It is.
I
And
look
now I know
forward to knowing
myself even more.
Yeah. But it's nice, it's also nice to find out that you were right.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, Margaret, because you're so confident, it could easily be delusion. It's like, no, it is a fairly accurate self-assessment.
Yeah.
You do like these things and not these things. Because you could easily just be so confident, you'd be like, you know what, not interested in that, I just do what I do, and what I do is right.
Yes,
and actually, it could be like, do you know what, there's a whole new world for you. No, you're about on track.
I tried, yeah. I definitely seem in the right place at the right time.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
I enjoyed that.
Good.
Oh,
It was a journey to that one,
It was a
wasn't there?
real journey.
It was a real journey to that one. And if they are both listening to the podcast,
Hello.
I love you both, and I think you're both fab. So no ill will at all. I hope you didn't mind me telling that story, but I think it was really important to do so.
Too late now.
So that was me. My turn. Susan. We've both been on a date this week, haven't we?
I've been on a date.
Well done.
Susan's had a
Susan's
date.
on a real. So when you said earlier, it doesn't happen in the real world. You come to the real world, Susan. You went on a real world date.
No, I haven't. It started on Fab Swingers.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
I
not
take that
real.
back.
Like, we went into the real world, and actually that was a mistake. Yeah,
Oh.
this date does not go as well as your date, I'm afraid to say, in classic Susan style.
Well, I mean, my date was a failure in the end, but it
Your
was
date was
empowering.
a failure. It's literally...
How do I still do this?
It's, do you know what? It is entirely within yourself, isn't it? Like whether because that was objectively a failure. You get Susan telling that story, there'll be tears at the end.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be tears at the end of this one.
God.
Don't you worry.
Buckle up, bitches.
So he messages me and he's like, "I'm this, and this. Like I'm I'm a business person, and this is my life.
I'm a businessman away on business."
He says, "I'd love to take you out for food or a drink or something like that." And so we chat a little bit, but we do not chat enough. Like, I get so many sexual propositions and so few offers of dates that I just fucking jump at that. I'm just like, oh, finally.
Oh,
a Prince
right,
Charming
yeah.
who was going to take me out for dinner and then marry me, finally.
Yeah.
And I jump too soon and I do not find out crucial information.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't really find out about his character.
Christ, what did you say? Yes?
I just said yeah when, which is too fast.
Absolutely not.
So,
Susan.
and he's like, "Where would you like to go?" And so
I've seen you agonise over
Yeah.
so many things that I'm like, oh my God, just buy the fucking cookie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, just have a Diet Coke.
Yeah, and I will end up usually not buying the cookie or the Diet Coke.
And then wanting it later.
Well, I didn't take that risk this time. I did the thing, and I regret it. No, I don't regret it. Do you know what? You never regret doing stuff.
I don't think you should.
You only regret not doing stuff. Like, actually, date was a shit show, and I've come out of it more determined to go on dates.
There you go then.
Yeah. So, he said, "Where would you like to go?" And I went back into the recesses of memory to the days when I used to go on dates as a man, with men.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, oh, well, a classic first date spot for me was this straight, just normal, just not gay. It was a wine tasting bar in...
I think we're fair to call them straight.
Right.
When they're not queer venues, they're straight.
Great. Okay, it's a straight wine tasting bar in... like Charlotte Street, like Fitzrovia, like that area.
Oh, God.
Fancy. I know.
The fuck were you doing?
Why do I think that I'm fancy? I'm not fancy.
You're not fancy. Why the fuck are you going there?
Well, I don't know. So I do that, and I'm late to get ready, and I'm flustered, and I don't know what to wear, and I'm trying things on, and I'm trying your stuff on, and I'm trying Grace's stuff on, and I opt for your sort of amber tone satin floor length dress.
Oh shit!
Right, I go for that, and then a pair of 5-inch sparkly heels, and then Grace's all like knee-length fur, and then like burgundy leather gloves.
Stop it!
I look like I'm in classic Hollywood. It is ridiculous. And then a matching little clutch bag.
This is why I need to be in.
Yeah.
See, Grace would have turned to you and said that was camp. I love the bitch. It is camp for drag.
Yeah, and I got on the tube. I just went and I just headed out on my day.
You know what?
Yeah.
Before you do that, you better work, bitch.
Right, thank you very much.
You better fucking work, bitch,
Thank
actually.
You. Didn't work out well.
Didn't work out well, but I'm still fucking proud of fuckers. That takes some fucking
it do.
guts.
Oh, it do. So I get on the tube and I'm flustered and I'm very late. People they film me. There's a group. Yeah, there's a group of, I'd say they were about, I don't know, like 21-ish, 22. Yeah.
Oh, old enough. And they live in London. Yeah. What the fuck?
There's a group and there must be like 5 or 6 of them and they are filming and laughing and just making no effort to hide any of that. And I'm just sat there,
straight people.
And I just feel awful. I just want the world to just like, I just want to just die.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're being so brazen about it. There's literally no way Sainsman isn't going to stop them.
Because they're already being brazen about it.
I have to like grab the phone. It would have to be physical. So that feels awful. One of them, when I'm getting off the tube, mouths sorry.
Not a help.
No.
Not a help now, bitch.
No.
I used to have those fucking bullies where the nice one in the group would come over to me afterwards and be like, sorry about that. And I'd be like, fuck you.
That just makes you the nice Nazi.
Like, no. You know it's wrong. That's even worse than some. I'm like, no, it's not even worse. But you know what I mean.
Well, at least some of them are just like, you know, animals, just not capable of
You should just be like, you don't even have to be like, oh, no, she looks amazing. You just have to be like, fuck off, that's a human. Stop being a dick.
Just literally just say,
so easy.
Give it a break. Anything.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you. They do nothing, and I just like turn around. As I'm leaving, I just say, "You've made me feel like shit tonight," and I just go.
And actually, when they're all on their own in their own beds,
they'll think
they will. They will.
Yeah.
Because imagine if somebody said that to you. Even when I was at my most heteronormative and horrible, and like I used to be a bit cunty in school sometimes. Like if people said something like that, would I remember it?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I actually was thinking about it because there was quite a lot of stops. And I could have...
didn't get off.
No, I stayed on.
That's really brave.
And like, I was, I could get off and say, oh, fuck you cunts. That wouldn't get through to them. But actually just being like, okay, this has ruined my night.
Yeah.
I think, like, when they're alone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I do that and I get to this bar and I'm 30 minutes late. Like, it's too much for him to be sat in this bar.
Yeah, but men are good at doing that.
Well, this one was good at doing it. He'd already had about 4 wines.
Oh, fuck.
That's
in half an hour?
Well, I don't think he'd started half an hour ago.
Oh.
Yeah. So I arrive and I'm like, your eyes aren't focused.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, just everything. So I arrive and I sit down and that's what it is. And I'm flustered. I'm flustered to fuck, really.
And really what you need right now is someone very calming and who can sense your mood and to try and sort of chill you out but not probe.
Exactly, which is not what I get.
Not what you get.
I also need a space that's a little bit free, but what I actually get is the tables are right next to each other and the couple to the table next to us who are younger, if anything, like, it must be 19. I'm like, what are you doing in a wine tasting bar, dickheads?
Get a life.
Keep turning around and laughing. I'm just like, mate... this is 2019.
What?
Laughing.
Oh my god. Well, wow.
Get out.
God.
Get in the bin.
It's just like, honey, if your life is so fucking interesting, that like, no, it's obviously not. If you're turning around, no, but if you're literally turning around while you're on a date with your boyfriend, do you know what I mean? Like, that's the real crux. When people start doing that, I'm like, how the fuck is your night going? Because if you're looking at what I'm doing on my night out, you must be having a shit one. So why don't you go fucking home and do what the rest of you heteronormative straight cunts do and sit there and be bored until you die. Get the fuck out of my face.
Just have a child and sit quietly.
Just have a child and continue to be boring. We will continue to create culture. Get the fuck out of my face.
So true.
Thank you.
Sorry. Which you will then appropriate in 4 years at a festival.
There we go. ooh, I'm wearing a glitter C.
So they're doing that, but because of all of this shit, the vibe of the wine bar is you get up and you try a few wines and you sit down with a glass, have a chat, get up, try a few, because of all this, I will not get up and do the try a few.
Yeah.
I will just sit there with my coat on, feeling like shit.
Well, of course, because then you don't want to be like, oh, and here's the gown.
Here's the gown. You don't want to do that.
This is why when I see someone queer walking down the street, I don't even care if they think it's awkward. I go, you better work, bitch.
Okay, cute.
And I say it in earshot.
Cute.
We all need to keep doing that to each other.
We do, but do we at the same time? Because
if I was walking down the street and someone went, you better work, bitch, I'd be like, yeah, I better.
You would, though, but actually with me, I'm like, I just want to be as invisible as possible. So I would respond...
I think you just need to get over
queer
that, though.
person. Yeah, I mean...
From a queer person.
Yeah, from a queer person.
From a queer person. But then actually straight people do it and you're like, you take that.
Yeah, I don't take it. I'm an introvert.
That's something we should take.
It is. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely true. People coming into my little
that's
space
ally
now,
behaviour.
It is ally behaviour, but at the same time, like, if you are, like, trans out on the street or whatever you are so visible that part of me is like, don't add to that. You know, like, when a straight person comes over, it's like, I'm so proud of your bravery. I'm like,
oh, no. Never this proud, I'm so, like, no, because that's condescending.
That is so condescending.
Like, all you need is, like, you better work, bitch. Like,
which is
get out on those
positive,
streets.
But at the same time, I want none of it. Get away from me.
Okay, fair. You're allowed to say that.
But I wouldn't say that. I would just be like, thanks. I can recognise that that's coming from a good place. That's wonderful.
But you'd
rather... I would just carry on.
But then I guess this is this issue with passing, no?
It's not even that I want to pass. I just don't want to wait. Yeah, I mean, you just really do stick out. And I will never
Which
pass.
I totally get. Like, you don't want to stick out.
Yeah.
The way I sort of got over it was like, I'm going to make the best of a bad situation and realise that I'm Sally Bowles in everybody else's crappy life.
You are.
And we all, like, us queers are.
We are all Sally Bowles. I saw, like, queer culture is being the Samantha of your straight friends and the Charlotte of your queer friends.
Yeah. Well.
That is queer culture. I'm the Samantha of every straight group I've ever been in.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Even when I wasn't having sex when I was a teenager, I was still the Samantha.
Because you just
I was the only one
things.
actually able to say like dick and like talk openly and positively about sex
without giggling and crying.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wasn't able to. I'm still not. I'm giggling and crying right now.
Right. So sorry, I interrupted there.
So it's awkward. But we're having a chat and we just have the wines. We don't do the tasting. We're having the wines, and we're chatting. And increasingly, I'm chatting. And this is why you absolutely message a lot of times before you go on the date. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll be chatting and he will lean over and he will caress either my hand or my face and he will say, shh. What? Or he will be like, you're so beautiful.
Oh,
and I'll just be like, I mean, thank you, but what does that have to do with Hillary Clinton?
Oh, God. Time, place. It's like, oh my God, this is so faux romantic. It's disgusting.
It's so disgusting. And I'm like, you know.
Find the moment. Totally find the moment.
But
and also once in a date.
Yeah. Oh, and don't shut me down to do this.
Never anyone.
And like, I might look good or whatever, and that's wonderful if you think that.
Not my bitch. You did look good.
I was slaying. But I also have a very interesting analysis on the 2016 election.
Well, yeah, and if he's a fucking businessman, then fucking yeah. Like, you're the...
Well, he had nothing to say.
Ugh, what an
He had nothing to say. The tragic thing of the whole evening was that at that time, I had no money. It must have been like a few days before payday or whatever it was.
Or just a Tuesday.
Just a Tuesday, being Susan. I had no money, and with all that shit on the tube and shit, I just didn't want to get back on the tube. No. So I let him come home with me so that he'd pay for a taxi. Which
I don't want to react because there should be absolutely no judgment from any of you for that behaviour.
Yeah.
Because
Needs
I've
must.
been in that situation where people have laughed at you, and oh my god, I sometimes when I was at my lowest, I couldn't leave the house for like 2 or 3 days.
You don't feel safe.
Like, no, absolutely not. You pick happiness over safety.
Yeah.
As a queer person, being
you
visible.
choose. Yeah.
You choose one or the other.
You do. And so in that moment, I chose safety. And he came back. You know, it was weird, actually. We were talking on the way home, because we haven't mentioned in this podcast yet, legs. We haven't mentioned
Oh
it.
no, we haven't. It's because we've not been.
We've not been. We need to go.
We really should.
So I don't know how the subject came up, but Legs is a Walthamstow-based trans sex club. Can you imagine?
So progressive. Well, we've said this. We've said this before in the podcast.
It's down the road, yeah.
Walthamstow is the area.
You know, Leighton has one as well. Well, it's got a sex club that has a night. So basically, within like 3 miles of us, there are 2 trans sex clubs or nights.
That's absurd.
What is this world?
That's amazing.
So we were talking about
Not enough,
that, and in the taxi, because he's actually, when we were ordering the taxi, he was basically too drunk to order the taxi, and I had to order it on his phone. Like, it was unsettling.
Why didn't you do a drop-off?
How do you mean?
If he was too drunk to do it, I'd have been like, I'd found out what his home address was.
And
then I'd
dropped
have
him
myself off.
first.
And dropped him and then went on.
Well, I do not have the wherewithal to arrange such a thing. And in the taxi,
That is a cocky thing to do.
That is cocky AF. In the taxi, what I do is not so much cocky, sneaky and weird. I changed the address from mine to Legs. So the taxi, he sees the taxi starting to, like, divert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I changed it to Legs because I thought that's what we were saying, isn't it? That we were going to go. Because we've just been talking about it.
Clever.
And he was like...
Actually, no, clever. Because if he was that inebriated, he'd been like, oh.
What, did I just say that? And he was like, yeah, okay, if you want to go, I'll take you to Legs. And we were talking about it, and I thought maybe I'd gotten away with it, because I thought I'll go, sample this place that I've been curious to see.
Lose him.
You know, the T-girls in there, you walk in these kinds of places, you get attention. It's easy to lose the guy who will be sort of in the background.
Or you go, I'm going for a wee.
You just never know. There are so many options.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we do that, and he's saying, you'll probably get so much attention that I know you want to go. I'm fine with that. I probably won't see you hardly once we're in there. I'll probably head home, but we'll do that, which is really sweet. He's like, I'll just take you. I thought I was going home and having sex with you, but actually...
No, but from his behaviour from the rest of the evening.
Well, I feel bad.
Oh, God.
I feel bad that I've just
Susan!
made him get a taxi to almost my house, kind of tricked him, and then been like, I'm maybe going to shag someone else.
He did not make you feel comfortable on your date.
He
That
did,
is why you wanted to do that.
That is why. Well, anyway, I was like, do you know what? This is really mean. I changed the address back to my house, and we went to my house.
Our house.
Oh, do you live here too?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Nice to meet you. But I changed the address back to our house. He came back, and we had sex. And the sex, do you know what? He behaved much better at our house, and I think maybe he'd sobered up a bit.
Okay, good.
And I think the thing is, with the kind of nerves and all the rest of it, and because I'd not let us stay that long, I was completely sober, and I think if I'd been drunk, I'd probably have gone to Legs.
Yeah.
But I was sober and feeling kind of moral and a bit awkward, and anyway, I came back. The sex, it's weird how even perfectly fine sex with someone who is now behaving reasonable, if you don't want it, feels violating.
Oh, totally.
I didn't have a good time, but he had sex. And the delightful thing was that he then...
I love that you just said he had sex. Do I love that? I'm not sure, but I just...
That is what happened.
I mean,
that is accurate. He had sex. I lay back and fell out of England. And he then got himself a taxi to his house, which was very convenient. So he left immediately.
Absolutely no staying.
No staying.
Absolutely no staying.
Which would have been so expensive, because I think the taxi to ours was like 35. It would have been like another...
Where the fuck was he? Where does he live?
I don't remember.
Who cares?
So obviously this was a travesty of a date. But I came out of it having learnt lots of things, being like, okay, I would not maybe wear a satin gown into central London in that way.
Yeah.
But like, I feel equipped now to go on dates.
I mean, it sounds like, first date, first full glam, going out,
Was a
being
lot.
laughed at, him being very drunk, quite awkward to be with.
Yeah.
It sounds like you had kind of like bad date 101.
I really did.
And if you can survive that,
Yeah.
you're gonna be fine.
So
Proud of you.
I'm now ready, and I'm heading more datewards. You know.
Yeah.
Less hookupwards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my pound of date, and I'm gonna get a nice one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Clink.
You can't clink a can of Diet Coke, can you? Now it's time for
You've got mail.
MALE.
Oh, it doesn't get better.
No, it doesn't. So Miriam, what
No.
is okay? Margo, what is your message of the week?
So, my message of the week is... it's really funny. I thought it was really funny.
Okay.
It was like, I've been recommended to you by a
Oh.
friend. Question mark.
Question mark. Like
On Instagram. This was on Instagram as well.
I've been
And then I
recommended
got
you?
sent it... sent...
what, for a nasty case of
stunning... Oh, wait.
Right.
A stunning photo. Beautiful body. And I was like... I messaged back like, Susan. She met you on Fab Swingers, didn't she?
no who
I don't know his name.
I want to see.
It's like the Jimmy one that wants to...
No! Oh my
Dom.
god, the sub!
Yeah,
He contacted
he
you.
did.
Did you get back to him?
I did, of course.
Was this recent?
Yes.
Oh my god! Okay. What did you say?
I
'Cause
said,
he-
absolutely, now never talk to her again.
Oh, okay.
I thought I'd go in with the...
Right, cool. Well,
I mean, if he does talk to you again, it's not actually
Well,
an issue.
when
but
was
it's,
this?
It's commanding.
because I did hear back from him quite recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, yesterday.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's been ages. I know. I heard back from him like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, no.
We haven't actually mentioned you for about 2 months,
Oh.
right?
She...
So he's remembered.
Is he trying to play us?
What's going on?
Is he still messaging you? Oh, well, I guess he only messaged me yesterday.
That is so interesting. He's big. He's small, but he's built. Isn't he?
Oh, I like him short. You know that.
yeah.
If
When you
they're really,
dominate
really
them.
built, I do like him short.
I do as when you're dominant.
Yeah.
Because if they're like really tall and really built, then I'm just like I'm gonna wilt like the sad little daffodil I am.
No, I'd be fine. But I do
you'd
find it...
go.
I quite like a little matchbox man.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
think it's quite funny.
I get it.
Yeah.
Shout out, Daddy Ash.
Love you, bitch. My gal. Yeah, so it just really made me chuckle because it was like, I've been recommended you. And I was like, what the fuck? For what? A gig? I mean, why is this weird straight man trying to book me?
Yeah.
And then I got sent this topless photo and it was the one that you'd showed me like ages ago.
That
And I
is
can't
so
remember
much-
which
this is
one,
such
but
a
I just
good
was
best of
like,
the week.
I recognize you and it must be. And I said, it's from Susan.
So what's the outcome? Is this going to happen?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it?
Yes. They're very keen.
Really?
They're very keen. As you know, I'm not a messenger.
You're
so
not,
I'm falling behind a bit, I have to say. But also kind of works for the Dom.
The tragic thing is, when we were messaging 2 months ago, I was not dumb. Whereas obviously the journey that I'm on right now, I'm like, oh, I could give you a good scene to now.
Oh, well, let's
So,
get him round on the same night, love.
oh, he'd bloody love that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, of course he would.
Just going from room to
Of course he
room.
would.
Oh, he'd love it.
Yeah.
They all ask about that.
Oh.
Whenever I say that I live with like drag queens, T-girls, gays, they're all like, oh, let's get,
Chain me up in the kitchen. Like, no,
well,
thank
let's
you,
fucking
darling.
chain him up in the fucking kitchen.
Maybe the landing.
Yeah, we don't want the little Jack Russell.
Not little, but the lasagna and little
Liza.
lies of the dog.
Oh, licking
Like-
his feet.
So,
Yeah,
Susan.
yeah.
Your turn.
Okay.
What is your message of the week?
It's on Grindr, and I think this one is a sign of progress for me, actually.
Oh.
It is a guy who messaged, and he said, worship me like my girlfriend doesn't. And do you know what? You know as well as these listeners do, that has been a part of my sexuality, and it has been a bad part of my sexuality, being subby, worshipping
I'm-
straight guys, wanting to be the other woman, being
Yeah.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
And I replied to him, you are gross. Right?
Susan! gay.
He is gross.
He is gross.
He should be stopped.
It's fine if this is a sexual fantasy, but don't bring your fucking girlfriend into it. Like,
Right?
your
It's
girlfriend has
disrespectful.
driven you to this place. It's disrespectful for her. It's disrespectful to you.
Absolutely.
Like, no, you're not just some like little
Worship him.
desperate thing ready to worship him. Like, cool if that's what you get to
And
when
that's
you've
what he
just
thinks
spoken
queers
about.
and trans are, isn't
Yeah,
it?
like just because you have a penis does not mean I want to worship you.
And it just plays into this narrative that queers are deviants that are just sort of feeding off straightness and we're just desperate for it. Give us normality, please.
You take it from us.
Right?
We invented glitter. Ugh. We invented the Spice Girls.
We invent festivals. We invent music.
Clubbing.
Art.
Everything. And now you want us to
Interior
worship you?
I'm obsessed
L
with
decorations. We
Excellent
did, though.
pleating.
Art movement.
Fashion.
Literally. And you want us to worship you? Get a grip.